Warning, the following contains material that may be too disturbing to some people. Descriptions of violence, mature situations, and adult themes. This is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. I leapt headfirst into the black, searching for answers. I found only more questions. My memories fade with each step. I feel a weight. It's so heavy. I find nothing. Here in darkness, I awaken for the first time. My skin is on fire. My lungs ache for air. My body's too weak to stand. To fight back. The pain pierces every thought. Death would be a kindness that I do not deserve. Let me die broken.
All right. Now, what kind of war crimes are we going to get up to tonight?
What a great way to start Starry Night. That's such a good way to start the show. I click over and it's just
war crimes.
Dank talking about doing a war crime. Heck yeah.
A convention, more like Geneva suggestion.
I found out today, I meant to link it and I completely forgot to. Did you know that the reason the Geneva Convention is so long is because of Canada?
Canada has done some horrible things.
Did you know they're airdropping wolves?
Like, I want to see that solution to problems be implemented in other things.
Imagining like
employee morale is low. Let's airdrop some wolves in there.
I'm imagining like a wolf jumping out of a plane with like a parachute on its back, being like, "I'm going for Tomato Town" or whatever.
But I can't remember exactly which state, but it's like Montana or Wyoming has too many moose and not enough wolves, so Canada was just like, we're gonna fix the problem and just drop some wolves on them.
Too many parking jams? Airdrop some wolves in there.
Wolf Battle Royale is a thing in Canada, apparently. Welcome, everybody, to Broken. We're playing some sci-fi tabletop RPGs for you guys today. We got the crew here, and the chaos is already popping off. So you too can join the chaos. It is free. It is on the Discord. You can see all the funny memes. You can ask lore questions. You can just call me names if you want, to be honest. Here's the link for those of you watching on Twitch. And if you're watching on YouTube, it's in the description below. You can also fuel up Dank for war crimes.
Hell yeah.
At buymeacoffee.com/broken dank. Get him some NOS or potentially not legal weapons. These are pretend, though, FBI, who's listening, I'm sure. So don't worry. They're fictional war crimes.
You can't see me.
They can see me, though. I am on camera. I apologize. Please do not harass.
Hi.
You can also head over to twitter.com/sketchingspace for all your artsy goodness. There is the new piece up on your Twitter, Gerblin?
It is up.
It is up. Go over there and check out the new art from last week's episode. Gerblin, can I show it, or should we just send them over there? I think maybe we should just send them over there if they want to see it.
Whatever you want to do.
Send him.
I feel like I show all your stuff, and I don't want to show all your stuff. You know what I mean? I think up to you. Up to you. I'm letting you make the call on this one.
Go to the place. Up the traffic.
Just go to Twitter. Find it.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
got the link. Go do the thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Right
All right. All right. You guys heard. Go over to twitter.com/sketchingspace and see the cool new art. It's dope. It's really dope. What else do we got here? You can also head over to Instagram, TikTok, and coffee.com/AceOfWandsDesigns for other artsy goodness, like Cassidy's token here. Here's the links for that. Okay, we're getting through the thing. We're doing good. We're professionals, guys. So next up on our docket today is to go through and have everyone introduce themselves for you, tell you a little bit about the character they're playing, and at the end, we'll talk about what happened last time and sort of where we're at right now. So what we'll do is we'll start with you, Dank. As always, how are you doing?
I am doing pretty good. I remembered a thing and I felt like an ass because I am not the person I used to be anymore. And I'm gonna try to do better, you know, maybe murder hoboing my way through things is not the best choice. I'm gonna try.
You're doing okay.
I'm gonna try.
You're scaring
You're
me.
gonna make Narcissa worried about you.
Oh.
Incredible violence is a great problem solver. But I will attempt to find alternative solution.
He sounds so sincere.
Attempt being the key word there.
Yeah.
Attempt.
All right. We'll see how this final solution, you might say.
Nope. Absolutely not.
All right. Well, we'll see how this alternative solution works out, I guess.
I'm a genius.
What's going on? It's the chaos. Oh, wow. Get in on that Discord, guys. It's hilarious. Okay. Thank you, Dank. Up next, we've got Gerblin playing the two characters, Enigma and Imogene, for you guys. Gerblin, how's it going?
It's going. You know, the animatronics did them both a bit of a spook, and you know, Dank suddenly nosebleeding did them a bit of a spook, and now they have memories from, you know, B Team, which is fun. Got to see Europa for a little bit, and that was enlightening, I suppose. So yeah, they're doing all right.
All right. Cool. Yeah, we had a lot of stuff come out of our wacky improv last game. It was really good. Really good. Speaking of Europa, head over to twitter.com/sketching space. See that
Another
art.
shameless plug.
Yeah,
Go see the goddamn art. I worked hard on it. It's really good. I'm really proud of it.
It's so good. Okay. Sorry. I'm here. Up next, thank you, Gerblin, by the way. Up next, we've got Mori playing Cassidy for you guys. Mori, how are you?
I'm doing good. I have been able to go back to my shop and collect my children. Waywatcher has siblings.
Your horrific monstrosity, terrifying children. Yes.
My wonderful, sweet children that can do no wrong.
Bullshit.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be fine.
And Narcissus is attempting to talk Dank into letting me take him back to Nibiru. It's great.
Yeah.
I will kick your ass.
You don't know this yet. Hush.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think it sounded like everyone else was like, no, you're not taking those things back to Nibiru. No way. Absolutely not. Nibiru is scary enough. We'll see. We'll see how that works out. Thank you, Mori. Up next, we've got Caitlin playing Naela. Caitlin, how are things?
Hi, hello. Naela is stuck in hell.
Okay.
That's about it. That's all I got.
Yeah.
She's sleeping in a chair currently, stuck in a dreamscape.
Yeah, you're presumably stuck in some memories, maybe. There's something going on. We don't know yet. Maybe we'll find out today. But yeah, it's good. I mean, you get a little extra rest, you know? Get a little extra rest. Everything's fine.
Maybe I'll be really energized when I wake up because of my long nap.
Maybe. We'll see. Best of luck with that. Thank you, Caitlin.
Thanks, friend.
And last but not least, we've got Zach playing Derrin. Zach, how are you?
Terrified for my life.
As you should be, always. Yeah. I mean, hey, at least you got a heist, right?
This is true.
It's just that
In my
will be
defense,
interesting
I didn't
if
say
we
anybody
don't
had
have
to
to bring
go
them.
in the shop.
Yeah. It's just that there are scary monsters, scary robotic monsters that have terrifying voices. Apparently, Okay, I'm actually just checking my keybinds. Making sure scary voice still works. All right. Cool. Well, thank you, Zach. So we left off last time with basically Naela indisposed, stuck in this sort of unconscious state. You guys are all in simulation in a place. It looks like a place called Cleveland, Ohio. And you came here to basically contact the flooded countries to try to get help for Nataku and get their big old generator fixed so that the city doesn't, well, die, I guess. City basically had an attack that is sort of your fault, and it knocked out their generator, so their power was out. Well, last time Naela got stayed in the dream. Everybody else was planning this heist to steal this painting called Starry Night from a museum. because it seemed like it might, basically according to was it Zephyr and Verona and Flint, it could contain some valuable info or something. The system basically added it when you guys arrived. And it seems like it might be some sort of artifact, perhaps something similar to what happened at the nuclear plant with Dank previously, where we saw him acquire those glasses or that suitcase, right? Which whatever was inside became those glasses he is sporting now. Yeah, that's I know that I feel like none of that made any sense. Watch the old episodes. Imagine jumping in right now and being like, what is happening on this show? Wait,
What the hell
they're in
is
Cleveland?
that?
Wait, does the show take place in Cleveland? No.
Yes.
Yeah, well, yes.
Yes, it's always been Cleveland.
It's it's always been Cleveland, Ohio, yeah. At least that's what you remember.
Ooh.
All right.
As far as Cassidy remembers, that's how it's been.
Yeah. Okay. So we pick up today with Naela, I think. Let me see here. There we go. All right. Naela.
Yes.
You wake up in complete darkness, pitch black. You feel yourself laying down, and it takes you a few seconds to adjust because you feel your eyes open, as if you're waking from a long sleep. But it's just absolute pitch black. And so at first you're thinking maybe your eyes didn't open, so you probably try to open them a couple of times. But yeah, it's just darkness. But you can feel that you're like laying on your back. And you feel probably quite weak. Maybe your head hurts a bit. And like as soon as you go to move or anything, your muscles kind of ache. And there's kind of a pressure on your chest. It's hard to breathe. You hear a sound from somewhere behind you. Let me see here. Oh, where is it? I know I have this. We've used it before. Oh, here it is. As there's a pinch in the back of your neck. It's only temporary. It goes away. What do you do?
I'm gonna grab the thing that just poked me with one hand, and then with the other hand, I'm going to feel my neck.
Okay. So you go to reach around to grab the thing that poked you. You feel like a metal like round cylinder coming out of the ground underneath you, behind your neck. And as soon as you move your arm up to sort of like reach behind your head, your elbow hits something hard in front of you. There's like a ping sound as your elbow hits it, and you get that like your whole arm tingles. You know, you're like funny bone. But yeah, you can feel the cylinder coming out of the like just barely protruding from the ground below your neck, and you feel your neck, and you feel like a circular metal divot, basically in line with your skin in the back of your neck. You can feel like a couple like holes in it. It's like a piece of metal that's like embedded in your skin. And when you touch it, and you realize it feels like a foreign object, right? Like you can't, like, you can feel everything around the piece of metal, but you can't, when you touch the metal itself, you don't feel anything. But you can kind of feel something sort of like pressing against your skin as your skin kind of moves around it. Yeah. Your chest kind of begins to ache. What do you do?
She is going to do her her meditation exercises that she's always done to kind of center herself, because it might be she's in panic mode, she don't know where she is, that, and clearly the atmosphere around her is harsher than what she might particularly be used to.
Yeah. What do you mean used to?
So, like, isn't it the further away you get from the core, the harder it is to breathe, or is it the opposite?
Well, funny you mentioned that, because you're not sure. You start to think about what you're used to, and you can't remember anything before this.
Oh, great.
In front of you, a pale blue light flickers on. And it's only a few inches from your face, maybe down a little bit as well. But you suddenly realize you're closed in on all sides. Like a coffin made of metal, perhaps, or some kind of pod.
She's gonna try to get out of it.
Okay.
That would be the first initial instinct.
So are you just like striking at the thing in front of you?
Yep,
The
pretty
wall,
much.
basically? Like where the light is?
Trying to get it to give a little bit or something.
Yeah. Make a hand-to-hand roll.
Oh, that's really bad. All right.
If you have something else in mind, you can try to lawyer a different skill. I'll hear you out.
The only thing I can possibly think of is like survival mode. Her number one goal is to get out, no matter how hard she has to hurt herself.
Yeah. Okay. So you're arguing survival skill?
Yeah.
I'll allow it, but it's less about like damaging the thing that you're trapped inside of, and more about hitting it in places, but kind of testing out where its weakness might be, that kind of thing. Think like Uma Thurman in Kill Bill when she's like buried alive.
Yeah.
And she's like breaking the box from the inside or whatever. Go ahead, make the roll.
Don't worry, it's not that good anyways. It's a 1.
Success. Okay. So you kind of start striking in front of you. You're also like feeling with one hand, like the other thing you notice too when you stick your hands out, like we see like from your point of view, you're looking down at your hands are very masculine looking. Yeah, they don't look like your hands per se, but it doesn't really seem odd to you at this moment because you don't really remember like what your hands look like.
Yeah, gotcha.
So yeah, we see you like striking out at the thing. You feel like a seam in the sort of like center of it in front of you, and you hit at that, and it's like we see like a piece of metal kind of slowly start to bend after a few strikes, and like a panel. We realize it's like a panel, and you sort of like start prying it off, and underneath, or at least, well, it's kind of above you. So on the other side of this panel, as you're sort of like creating an opening, we see like a bunch of electronic pieces. As soon as you start like pulling this panel on, the light, that pale blue light, flickers red, and it starts flashing.
Oh, great.
We don't hear anything, but actually, I take that back. We do hear something. It's static, basically, just like static cutting in and out. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, and you're just like striking at this thing. So you found like a weak point. You see some like electronics on the other side of this panel. What do? You just go keep going at it, or?
I want to see. Kind of what the electronics around me are. Would I be able to do that with observation? If not, I'll make a straight roll.
You can make an observation, yeah. To see, like, it could give you some information. It's not going to tell you how electronics work per se, but you could notice particular things about the electronics, I suppose. Yeah. Okay. So, like, the first thing you notice is the inside of whatever you're in, like on the surface level, is kind of like clean, spotless, you might say, like immaculate. As soon as you like pass this panel, all the electronics inside, there's a bunch of different things in there. They all look very old, rusted. There's some of them are sparking. And there's like obvious signs of corrosion on them. First glance, some of them strike you as where the sparking is coming from, probably where a power source connects or runs through the system of whatever you're inside of. Other parts strike you as perhaps connected to, could be connected to some whatever opens this thing.
I'm gonna try to see if I can get it to connect to whatever opens this thing.
This would be like an electronics role or like a engineering role, maybe even mechanics. I could see that argued. The other option would be to just start ripping stuff out of there, like not knowing what you're doing, really.
Yeah, I don't think she actually cares enough to put shit together. So I guess just trying to tear her way out.
Okay. Make another survival roll. Success. All right. So yeah, we see you like looking down this panel, kind of studying it for a minute, and we just see you start wrenching your hands in there and just like ripping stuff out. We hear stuff like breaking. This goes on for a few seconds. Maybe you're pulling out whole pieces of like wires or strange looking like chips. Maybe even like little gear pieces or something. At any rate, the light goes off. There's a long pause, and then there's like a sort of like a thud sound followed by a hissing sound as air fills the container you're in or escapes from it. It's kind of hard to tell, but you do feel like a pressure change as the piece in front of you comes loose. At the whole front of this thing basically comes loose. Like you rip something out that did something, and now the thing laying on top of you that you were reaching your hands into kind of lists to one side, and you suddenly realize like it's laying on your hands. Like you could basically like push this thing open or off of you, like kind of like a sarcophagus, but not as heavy.
All right, cool. We're gonna do that.
Yeah, you do that. Let me make sure that this screen is ready. When you do, you find yourself laying in basically a metal box in what appears to be like a large open room. Very faint amount of light, and it's mostly coming from around this platform that this box you're laying in seems to be like sitting on. There's a lot of dust and like debris around the immediate area. The first thing you notice, though, looking around, is bones strewn across the floor. Quite a few of them. They're not organized in like bodies. Like they're not laid out like they died sitting there. Most of them are probably scattered all around the room. And there's also quite a bit of grime and dirt on everything. It's hard to say how big the room is. You can't really see walls. You don't have enough light for it. Here, I'll sort of show you like a general idea of what this might look like.
Right.
Maybe a bit darker. No like walls in the immediate vicinity around you, but you're sort of like waking up in this like pod like thing as you've like slid the top of it off of you, and you're on this like platform. Yeah, like looking around you just see darkness in every direction basically, and all these bones all over the floor, and like grime and dust and sort of dirt on everything. What are you doing?
I kind of want to see if there's anything else to take in note that might give me a clue as to what is or what was here.
Yeah, make a perception, observation, investigation check.
Oh no. Hold on. Let me see.
That's a fumble.
I got a not a memory point, an influence point.
To reroll? All right.
Yeah.
Go for it. All right. So, looking around the immediate area, you notice a couple things. First thing you notice probably is looking down at the sort of like lid that you just lifted off of yourself. Like I said before, there's a bunch of grime kind of all over everything. There's also a bunch on this lid on the outside of it. There's also like smear marks where it looks like something has wiped against it, something dirty. It kind of looks like it could be like a hand print. There's also like scratches all along the outside of it, like it's quite beaten up on the outside. And so there's sort of smears in the grime and like detritus all around you too, all over the platform, and on the ground around these skeletons, and sort of these bones everywhere. Some of the bones have like very small amounts of like rotten bits of meat on them. You can tell just glancing, like at the ones closest to the light, that some of them seem to be cracked open. Like the bones themselves, like there's like a femur that's split open. And some of them like have teeth marks on them. Another thing you notice is just at the edge of the light is what looks to be a fresh body, relatively speaking. I mean, it still has skin on it. The color of skin probably catches your eye because it stands out amidst all of the black. There's also a fairly new sort of pool of fluid around its torso. But it's hard to see much more than that because it's like right at the edge of the light. And most of what you can see is like the back of its head as it's like laying on its back facing away from you, to about mid-sternum. And the skin is quite pale, from what you can see from here. And it's naked, as are you probably. Yeah, you can see like a lot of what looks to be blood, but the only bits of it that are still wet is kind of like this pool around the torso area. A lot of it is dry and sort of darkened. It's probably a few days old. I mean, you rolled a success. It's a observation check. The body itself, it looks to probably be a few days old, but you can only really see from like the head, which is closest to you, maybe like one arm, and like its sternum, and the rest of it kind of disappears into the darkness.
I would like to start walking that way, but before I start walking that way, I would like to try to find something to defend myself with, because clearly something is here killing people.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is.
Okay. So yeah, you like look around you for like any kind of like weapon. You don't see any like obvious weapons nearby. We don't see any like death spitters or anything like that, just like laying on the ground. You do see a couple things you could use potentially as a weapon is that bone that's cracked open could be used as a stabbing implement. The other thing you notice is like the sort of like metal platform you're on. A lot of it has bits that are like bent and broken a little bit, like almost like they were pried on or something. It seems quite old. Also, so you could potentially like break off a piece of the edge of it or something, pry it off, and use it as like a longer instrument. Maybe it's metal, so you might be able to get something sharp.
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
Okay. Make a roll. I'd probably accept either like mechanics, hand to hand. If you got any other ideas, I'll hear you out. Like some kind of athletics, strength to like pry a piece of metal off this thing.
You will accept athletics?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I got that.
Ooh. Okay. Critical success rule of threes. So you can add another, or +1 memory for that if you want to your journal pages. Okay. So yeah, you get a pretty solid implement. What are you looking for here? Are you looking for like a big long weapon? You're looking for something sharp? What's your ideal weapon that you can pry off of this thing?
Probably something longer, so that way I can like knock it back if I have to.
Yeah. Yeah. So you get like basically like a long rod piece of railing or something. Maybe it's sharp at the end. Could make a very effective and sturdy like spear, you might say. We'll say it's a. I'll give you a +2 spear. Okay, so yeah, you do this. You see you start to get up. Your body hurts so bad when you move, by the way. It's rebelling against you. Actually, I'm not going to retcon anything, but you should be, you're definitely being affected by Kabadoo here. So you're probably going to be down two steps from the stable in the middle of your sheet. Again, not going to retcon anything. We'll just do that going forward. Yeah, your body hurts, and it's hard to breathe. But yeah, you pry this spear, this railing piece off of the thing, and there's a loud sound as you break whatever part of it was holding it on. Maybe there's some bolts or something holding one end of it, and there's a loud wrenching sound as you tear this off of the platform. As soon as you do that, you hear something move in the distance. It's not coming from the same side as the body. It's probably coming from a 90-degree angle. But you hear something shift, and then you hear like the sound of like a small object maybe falling against a wall or like falling off of like a pile, but you hear something fall and it's smaller, and it hits several things before you hear it land on like the ground, and where it skitters to a stop.
Can I roll observation to see if I can see it?
Sure, make an observation roll.
You know what? Just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna keep that.
Yeah. Okay. Major failure. Yeah, you kind of squint your eyes in the darkness and you don't see anything. But we, the audience, get a shot of like behind you. We don't see your face. But we get this shot of like your shoulder. It's clear that the camera's like looking behind you. And we see something move in the darkness, like a silhouette. It's kind of hard to tell what it is. But we see like a silhouette move slowly, in the darkness, like getting further behind you. It's like sort of like strafing around this platform that you're on.
Great. I'm gonna do what I originally set out to do and go look at the body.
Yeah. So you see like kind of uneasily start to step towards the body. Sure.
I would like to examine the body to see what kind of damage this thing has done. So like looking for teeth marks, gash marks.
Yeah.
Clearly something is tore open, but I want to see to what degree it is.
Yeah. So you approach the body, you get to kind of where the edge of the light is, and you can see it a little bit better close up and sort of like standing over it. The first thing you notice is it's still like facing away from you. The eyes are open, just staring blankly into the darkness. The audience sees the body, and we immediately recognize it. It is a somewhat thin but athletic man, bald, clean shaven, not old, but we would recognize this person as Silas, almost for sure. The torso is ripped open. There's a lot of organs missing. There's also like a lot of blood around the torso
All right.
area. One of the legs has been ripped off. The ribs, like the torso is opened at like the gut area, like wrenched open. And the ribs have sort of been like roughly pried on. Some of them are cracked, broken. To
Is
get it,
the heart gone?
all of the major organs are basically gone, and there's just a mess of fluids all over the floor.
So, this is probably a bit of a stretch, but it's something that I do have, so I'm going to ask if I can use it.
Yeah.
And if not, it's fine. Well, there's actually two things. Well, primarily one. Would would zoology knowledge do me any good in this moment to see if I know what could have caused this or not?
It could give you some information, for sure.
Okay.
I would allow it. Yeah.
All right. I would like to do that.
Yeah.
And I know I'm at a -1, so that is now a 1. I don't want that. I don't want that.
Are you gonna spend a point to reroll?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't type my thing in.
It's okay.
Oh,
So you can just
please.
roll one more dice if you want. So just roll slash roll space 1d4.
Space 1d4.
That is also a failure, but it's not a fumble.
All right. Whatever. Fine, we'll keep it.
I will say that yeah, it's hard to recognize what did this. But whatever happened here was obviously violent. Like, it's not done with surgical precision. The flesh around the abdomen is torn away. It's not neatly cut. The missing leg doesn't appear to have been cut off like with a tool. It's very rough looking, but can't really tell much more than that.
Would there be a way for me to see if I could track where the flow of blood is going to? Because clearly it was dragged somewhere. I don't think it ate it whole.
Yeah, I suppose you can make like an investigation check. Okay. So just looking at the blood, it's still wet near the torso where there was the most of it, enough for it to sort of pool in the indent, like the dents in the ground, basically. Like the ground is very worn here. It's still metal, but there's like dents in it where things have struck at the ground near the body, and put these like dents in the metal floor. And so that sort of allowed some of the blood to sort of pool and stay wet or kind of congeal slightly. So it's not completely dry. The blood itself, you do see like I want to say like splatter or droplets that seem to lead away from the body further into the darkness. But there's also some that are just sort of like around the body, almost like whatever like ripped it. It's not like directly from the flow from the open torso. So like it's almost like whatever ripped the organs out held them near the body as they dripped onto the floor for at least temporarily, and then stepped away from the body into the darkness.
I'm gonna see if there's a way that I can.
Do you touch the body at all? Like while you're looking at it, or are you just like staring at it, making all these observations?
I've been touching it, yes.
Oh. Okay. Well, at some point, when you make contact with the body, you hear a sound from somewhere behind you. It's the sound of like, well, it sounds a lot like a person screaming, but it's not like a help me scream. It's just like sort of a, ah, like at you, like a very aggressive, like shout.
gonna turn my weapon with me as I turn around.
Yeah. So we see you like spin around and look with your weapon bared, ready to strike. But there's nothing there. Like there's nothing running at you.
Oh my god, this is some Wendigo type shit. Alright. I'm gonna start walking towards the noise.
Okay. So yeah, we see you like you almost come back into the light a little bit as you're heading the direction the scream came from. With like this weapon bared. Do you go out of the light? Like, do you go into the dark?
Is there like... this is probably a stupid question, but I'm gonna ask it anyways. Is there a way for me to, like, create light? like, I don't know how to explain it. But, like, is it just the light above me that's there, or is there, like, lights that are off that I could possibly piece together to turn on? Like...
Yeah. I suppose it's possible you could find a switch or something somewhere. There's no obvious like light source around you, like that you could grab. Like there's no like flashlight on the ground.
Yeah.
Or a lantern that's not turned on or something like that. The light, the small bit of light that you're seeing is kind of coming from like a ceiling above you, above this platform. And sort of looking up, you do see a like a few cables dangling down, but they're like some of them are like ripped
up there.
Well, they're like, yeah, they're probably a bit high for like a jump and grab situation, but a lot of them are like broken or frayed at the edges where they're just like ripped off of whatever they were supposed to connect to.
Gotcha.
So you see like these cables hanging down, and at the end of a lot of them, it's just like open copper or metal, you know, like frayed bits of metal sticking out of them.
I'm gonna try to find a light switch. If I can't find it, then I'm just gonna go into the darkness, but I'm gonna try to search for it first, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's okay. I think your previous like observation success roll can stand here. Yeah, there's no obvious switch around you, like in this space where the light is. And while you're looking, you don't hear any obvious sounds. Like the scream doesn't happen again. As you're like sort of looking around the area that you have the most light to see. It's just sort of quiet.
Alright, I guess we're gonna go into the darkness.
Yeah, are you going towards where you heard the scream from?
Yep, sure is.
Okay. So you start to move in that direction, and you hear, like when you get to the edge of where the light is, you hear another scream from behind you. And it's pretty similar, although you made a success in your observation check. It's a slightly different pitch than the other scream, but it's just as like, you might say it's like animalistic or like primal. Like it's just like a bah! Kind of scream coming at you.
He's just gonna shout, "Show yourself!" in like a commanding tone.
Yeah, you turn around to face where the noise came from.
Yep.
Yeah, you immediately hear we see you like shout, "Show yourself." And we get a shot of you with like the light basically giving like a silhouette, and we can clearly tell that the person we're seeing wielding this spear is a bald man. But we can't like see your face. We just see like your build, basically, you know. And so like as soon as you turn around to where the scream came from and you're like, show yourself, you hear something move behind you again. This time it's like a shifting sound. It sounds a bit closer to you. And you can hear what you presume to be the sound of bones falling off of something and sort of skittering across the floor right after this like a little bit larger shifting sound occurs.
And I still can't see it.
So you turn to face the scream, and this happens behind you.
All right. So the second I hear the shifting, I'm going to turn back.
Yeah, you turn back.
It's like frantic looking around of, all right, this thing is playing tricks with me. It's about to pop up.
Yeah. Yeah, you turn back. Make an observation roll.
She is terrified.
Okay, so you see it's in the darkness, but you can kind of like see with like squinting your eyes, and just enough of the light kind of reaches for you to see like a humanoid silhouette standing very still in the darkness. And they must be like covered with grime or dirt or something that kind of like, because they almost like blend in with how dark the background is. Like if you weren't looking really carefully, you might miss them. But they're not like super close to you. They're probably like 10, 15 feet into the sort of darkness, the edge of this light. Yeah, and when you turn to face them behind you, as you're like looking at them, they stand, as soon as you're like facing them, they're like super still. They're just standing completely still. And behind you, you hear that scream again, the same one that was in that direction before.
Oh shit, there's two of them.
Yeah, like while you're looking at this thing. Yeah, you hear it behind you.
Oh God. Oh no. She's gonna start slowly walking towards it.
Okay, so you start to move towards it, towards the one you're looking at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just standing really still. How close are you gonna get to this thing?
How far away from it was I before?
Well, if you were at the edge of the light, you were about 15 feet. So not super far.
I'd say 5 feet. Like I'll go 10 feet, and then stop and see what happens. Does he look like he has blood on his facial features?
Yeah, so you move 10 feet into the darkness and you're just like squinting at this thing. It's hard to make out the detail because of just how dark it is. But yeah, we'll count your previous success here. But yeah, you stop at like 5 feet from it and you're just looking at this thing, and it's a naked human, very dirty, covered with blood, presumably lots of it, because not all of it is fresh. It could be mud or grime from the floor. It's very dirty. It's got a lot of stuff on its skin. Blood definitely being among the things smeared on it for sure. And it's all over its face. It's every inch of its body is covered with this stuff.
What's its demeanor? Does it look terrified? Does it look threatened? Does it look like it wants to hurt me?
Well, the only thing you can really see for sure are these Like the thing that stands out the most, I guess, are these thin slits where their eyes are open and they're sort of like looking at you, staring at you. They don't seem threatened. We'll say that. Their posture is very much like, almost like predator-like, like they're preying on you, and they aren't sure if you see them. They're watching you, and it seems like if you just got a tad closer, like you get this feeling in the back of your brain that like if you just got a tad closer to this thing, it would lash out at you to attack you. Like you're just outside of its range, like its reach, basically. And you can see it's breathing slightly. Like you're close enough to it to kind of see its chest move slightly. It's very controlled. Like it's mindful of it. It's breathing slowly, intentionally.
Oh God, I don't like that. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is I am going to start slowly backing up, but I am going to keep my eyes on this creature and try to turn myself to where I can keep my eye on the creature in my peripheral and see what it's doing, while also trying to see in my other side kind of what I'm dealing with, and she's going to try to get the fuck out of here.
Okay, so just so I understand what you're doing. So you're kind of putting some distance. You're backing up back towards the light, but you're
Yep.
also like turning to look at your surroundings a little bit while being mindful of where this thing is.
Yes.
Okay. So as you so you back up, it doesn't move as you sort of move back towards the light. It continues staying very still. But as you like turn to look to get a bearing on your surroundings, you hear the one behind you move, like just try to stay behind you. So it shifts, like strafing around you. And you hear more stuff being knocked over, like bones and stuff like that. Whatever's in the darkness, like a bunch of debris being knocked over and skittered across the floor as this thing hurriedly tries to basically stay behind where you're looking. And it almost like grunts slightly as it does this, because you kind of like your sudden change of where you're focusing almost like catches it off guard, it seems like. So you just like
it's frustrated.
There's just like a grunt sound, more like more less it's I suppose it does sound kind of frustrated, but it more sounds like a physical exertion thing as this thing is trying to hurry. It wasn't expecting to have it to move in that particular direction, or it strains itself to quickly move to stay out of your eyesight. But you know it's there. It's trying to stay behind you. Do you let it? Because basically what it's doing is it's putting itself in a position where to look at it, you have to look away from the first one. It's not charging towards you. Again, it's just that it's strafing around you.
I'll let it strafe around me for now. But I'm still keeping track of the other one.
Okay.
Because clearly they're trying to circle me, and clearly they're both trying to jump on me at the same time. So if I know where one is, I have a better chance at getting rid of one instead of having to get rid of both at the same time, is my thought process.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily want to hurt these things if I don't have to.
Yeah. So yeah, you keep your eyes on that one. So this one like maneuvers around behind you, and then it screams again. Yeah, the one that you're looking at continues to stay still, like as still as it can. Do you react to the scream? Like, do you flinch or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Because now I know it's trying to get my attention.
Yeah, so you refuse to look at it. It screams again, like soon after. Again, I'm guessing you don't react, right?
Yep.
Okay. It throws something at you.
Yeah, I'm pissing it off.
Yeah, you are. I'm just trying to decide. I mean, I guess it'd be a contested check. Even though you're not really looking at it, but I'll allow a contested check. This is basically a ranged attack on you.
Okay.
So here's the whatever it is. Here's its roll. Oh, I'm so sorry. I need to you make this roll, and then we'll have you make a stress test for all of the blood and gore.
What am I?
Be a contested roll, and it could be dodge.
Can I use athletics?
Yeah, you can. I'd allow athletics for this. Okay.
I would like to re-roll my one.
Okay.
Actually, re-roll your 4s.
All right. Spend an influence point to get me to re-roll the 4s. Sure. So they become a 1 and a 3, so it goes down by a total of 3 to a 10. So, yeah, you move out of the way, and you see like a piece of bone, whiz by you in the darkness. It misses you, clatters to the floor. Followed soon after by another scream. Like this time it's more frustrated. Okay. I probably should have had you do this earlier, but it's okay. Be stress test against violence. Here's your DC. It's a 13.
Is this a contested, right?
Yeah. This is just for like the mutilated bodies, the bones, and all that stuff. I should have had you roll this earlier. It's my bad. Oh.
Yeah, I don't have anything for that.
You don't have any influence points left?
That's not gonna do anything.
Well, I've tripled your
But that triples your score.
I tripled your score, so you're going to get a symptom immediately.
Hey, re-roll that 4, Ramblin.
All right. Okay, so that brings it down to a 1, so it's a 10. So I've doubled your score. So you'll go down 2 mind steps.
Okay.
Do you have something against you on that? Because unless you have something against you, you should be be having 3. You should be overriding the negative for that.
That's actually a good point. Yeah. I don't think Kabadoo affects your response to violence, does it?
No, it shouldn't be it shouldn't be doing any of the mind rolls.
Yeah. Yeah, so you actually should have another D4 dice, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
it just doesn't know the system just doesn't know, just because it's contested, it just automatically does whatever the system is.
Oh, okay.
It pops it up to a 6 at least.
Okay, so so you only go down 1 mind step instead of 2. Which is good. That's a good thing. Okay. So threw something at you. You're still watching the 1.
Yep.
As you're as you hear the one scream behind you again, you don't look. As you're watching this one, you hear a noise come from it. It's less of a scream this time, and it's more of like a ooh sound, like a ooh, like a loud sound. And it stops, like it does that for like 2 seconds, kind of like a whoop whoop sound at the end. And you hear in the distance, you hear another sound, very similar. It's quite a ways away, it sounds like, though. Like it kind of echoes off of corridors.
Does it sound like it's coming from the direction that I'm going towards?
It sounds like it's coming from behind the creature you're looking at somewhere, but it's quite far. Like we're talking at the very least hundreds of yards. It's sort of echoing off of like potentially walls.
All right. Still backing out. Still trying to get out of the room. Still trying to be careful. And the second I feel like I'm safe, I'm bolting. But right now, I'm not in a good position here.
So you've got the one that you're looking at, and you've got the one that's staying behind you. Which way are you trying to exit?
To one of the sides.
Okay. Do you run?
Not for right now, because the second I run is the second that one behind me is gonna cut me off. So really, it's just taking a slow pace as of right now, unless I can somehow climb onto something to get higher ground. But doubtful.
Okay. So you get to the edge of the light, and you're still facing the one direction where the one is. The other one is standing still behind you, but you have like the darkness at your, we'll say it's your left side. And you're not running, but you're kind of moving with purpose, we'll say. Do you go into the darkness?
Does it look like I'm about to enter a corridor, or what does it look like I'm about to enter if I do?
As far as you can see, in that direction, like if you glance, it's just like bones. You can see like a little bit of the floor, but not far, because as soon as you get out of the range of the light, it's just basically pitch black. You can see like maybe some like large sort of like metal boxes that have been wrenched open, maybe with a little bit of like debris around them nearby. But yeah, you can't really see far into the darkness. Like it seems to go as far as you can see, basically. There's all kinds of bones and stuff all around.
I might not have another choice but to book it at this point, because I don't know where I am. I'm clearly about to be followed. I'm not gonna have any light no matter what I do, so I'm gonna have to take a chance.
Yeah.
So once she's in the dark, she's gonna book it.
Yeah. All right. So we see you get to like the edge of this darkness and then just like sprint into it, basically. Both of the creatures immediately run after you. Okay. Make contested checks as they both try to chase you. This is be like running or fleeing, maybe. I suppose athletics could apply here.
Awesome.
I'm gonna give them an extra dice though, because there's 2 of them. So basically like they're getting help. One's helping the other, kind of thing.
This is contested?
It is.
Alright.
Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta hit slash roll.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're not weighed down by Kabadoo, unfortunately.
I can't double up skills, can I?
I mean, I'll hear you out. What skills are you wanting to combine here?
I was going to use distraction and athletics.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I think you can combine the skills. The only issue is that the maximum benefit you can get from them is +3.
Okay, well, both of them are +3 anyways, so never mind. Reroll your force.
Dang it, I was about to say the same thing.
All right, you're spending an influence point to have me re-roll the 4s. Okay.
I sure am.
All right, let's see what we get here. So I got 2 4s.
Do it again.
All right. I got a 1 and a 2, so that brings it down by 5.
A 10.
Yeah, to a 10. So, yeah, you gain on them. You get further away from them. They're tripping over stuff. You know, they're chasing you carelessly. And yeah, and you're kicking some of the bones into the darkness to make more noise. Maybe that does kind of distract them. They hear a noise and they turn to look instead of focusing on you for a second. But yeah, you put a little bit more distance between you and them for sure. They're still going to be moving after you. But they're basically losing ground. As you sprint into the darkness. Yeah, you feel yourself stepping on stuff, but you're hurrying, you know, maybe you step on a bone for a second that you didn't see, and it for a second, you almost like slide 1 foot across the floor a little bit before you regain your footing, and you're running. You're just running. You can't see where you're running to. You have no idea. You're just trying to get away from these things. But yeah, you eventually, after probably 100 yards or so, you see a wall at the edge of your vision, and your eyes have started to adjust a bit, but there's just like no light. But you can kind of see a wall a few feet from you, and you realize when you get a bit closer that it's a corridor. It's like a hallway. There's an opening at the bottom. It's like a door. It's wedged partway open. That leads into this corridor, and there's like a 2-foot gap at the bottom of the door. So think like a large metal door leading into like a hallway with like a gap at the bottom.
I'm gonna try to get in.
Yeah, you don't have to roll. You can crawl right in, no problem. Yeah, let me see here. Okay. Yeah. You do. You crawl in. The creatures are still coming after you. What are you doing once you're on the other side of this door? It's a hallway. I mean, it looks relatively the same. There's bones and stuff everywhere. It's very dirty.
Do I have enough time to try to block the doorway to where they can't get in? Or not?
You could certainly try. What are you going to block it with? Are you trying to like wrench the door down to close it? Are you trying to like put a bunch of bones in the way to make it hard to crawl in? Like what's the plan here?
I'm trying to make it to where they can't get in at all. So
like, okay, so you get on the other side of the door.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see a little bit. There's probably a little bit of sparking coming from the ceiling in here. So there's like a flickering, faint light that gives you like just a tiny bit of vision. And yeah, you look back at the door and you can see like handles on it. You'd have to kind of like reach up and grab them. They're pretty high. But if you're wanting to block the way, you could try to pull the door down. That's one option. The putting bones in the way, like there's a bunch of bones all over the floor in here too. You could try to pile them up. It would take you more time. Almost for assuredly too long.
In that case, I guess I'm gonna try to wedge the door down.
Yeah.
Where they can't, to where I have more time to get away at least.
Yeah. Make a athletics, or I suppose I allow like mechanics, or something like that. But you have a +3 to athletics, right? So you can.
Yeah.
You can.
Is this contested or normal?
This will not be contested. No. Normal roll. Savvy, success. Okay. So yeah, you reach up, you grab the door, you bring it, start to pull on it, yank on it. You feel it. At first, it's just like stiff, like it doesn't move or give at all. But you like maybe you put one foot against the wall to give you leverage or something, and you like pull down. You feel your muscles strain with everything left in them. You thought they couldn't ache more, but you immediately feel pain surging through your body as you're just yanking on this thing as hard as you can. It does give and move. Like you feel it like come loose, like you broke a seal or something on it, and it suddenly gives quite a bit, and it almost like goes all the way down under its own weight after you sort of like break whatever, if it was rusted up or something like that. And as it comes down, the creatures get to the door, and they immediately start trying to crawl under it, but you're wrenching it down on them. You're going to be able to close the door for sure. The question here is, does one of them make it in with you? So yeah, you wrench the door down. One of them starts to crawl underneath, and you're bringing the door down on it. The other one is we'll say the other one is like stuck behind it. It's not going to get a chance to make it at all. But yeah, we'll do a contested check against this one. I'm going to take a dice away from this one because you're in the advantageous position here. It's laying down on the ground trying to crawl through. And you're standing up, pulling a heavy door down on top of it. I'll even give you a +1 because your weapon is heavy door. And heavy door gives a +1 to fisticuff rolls if you're slamming it on something, we'll say. Okay, so contested check. You could use athletics here. It's a +3 is probably the best thing to use unless you'd rather use something else.
Nope.
Here's its roll. Okay, success. Okay, so you bring the door down on this thing and you hear a loud crack as the thing screeches in pain as the door collides with like its ribs. It's like turned sideways to try to like pull itself through with its hands. And yeah, you bring the weight of the door down on its ribs. You hear a crack sound. It screeches out in pain. You get a proper look at this thing as you turn to look at it, and it's a human. It's a person.
So it's a cannibal.
Probably.
What the shit?
Like you haven't seen it eat anyone. But
well, clearly it was trying to do something to me.
Yeah, probably.
So suffer.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of looks up at you. You bring it down one body step as the door kind of hits it, takes the wind out of its screeches, and it tries to wedge itself free.
I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna run now.
You're just gonna run? You could finish this thing off.
You right. But wait, wouldn't the other one be able to? Okay, never mind. I'm gonna just kill this thing.
Yeah, if you run, the door stays open.
Yeah, no. We're finishing this thing off.
Sure. All right. Same roll. Same penalties and bonuses apply here. Here's its roll. It rolls a 16. Holy moly, it's 3 4s. It's a critical success.
Reroll your 4.
All right, you got more influence. You're spending another influence point. All right.
Guys, I might need a little help.
How many do you have left?
1, 2,
Okay. All right.
3.
Wait, 3, 4? You got that many?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're all right. Okay. So that brings it.
Oh no, I don't.
It brings it down by 3 to a 13.
Help.
Reroll those reroll those 2 4s.
All right. Another influence point. Spend all your influence. That brings it down another 5 to an 8.
Well, Gerblin, you want to use that influence.
Hey, I have 2 characters worth of influence to spend. It's fine. I'm not gonna be in trouble anytime soon.
Thanks, friend.
All right. So yeah, you win this time. So you reduce it another body step. Now it's going to have a
Okay.
penalty.
Great.
To continue to fight you, it's going to suffer an additional penalty. So it's going to be -2 dice. As you bring the door down again on this thing's sternum, it's like pulling from, like it's got one hand on the inside of the door and like one hand reaching towards you, towards the floor to get leverage to try to pull itself through. As you're like, you've just brought the door down on its like side of its ribs. And the door like bounces off of it, kind of like there's that crack sound. The door almost kind of like bounces off of it. And then you go to bring it down again on the same place. And it howls in pain. There's like a metal tab on the door that kind of sticks out on the bottom, and you see it like puncture into the side of this thing. Dark blood comes pouring from the wound as this thing just screeches in pain.
This ain't no normal person.
The one behind it starts to yell and scream in anger. And it's you can kind of see like it's moving around, like it's trying to push past it, like push underneath with it or something, but it can't because it's like a weird angle. But the other one's starting to panic too as you're hurting this one. Like you can hear it yelling and screaming, getting more excited. Yeah. Do you keep going?
I'm trying to kill it.
Yeah.
I got a 13.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Wait. So you rolled again? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
That's a 12, right?
Plus 1, 13.
Oh no, you get an extra. Wait, what's the plus? Oh, because the door. Yeah. You're right. I'm sorry.
I know math.
I was confused. So it only has 4 dice this time. Yeah, 7. Okay, so you kill this thing with the door. Yeah, the door comes down much harder this time, and with the ribs and most of the bones in that part of its body broken from the impact of the previous blow, there's not much to sort of offer any resistance this time, as the door comes all the way down, basically severing the creature in half at the torso. Blood gushes out everywhere. It screams, of course. There's like gurgling sounds. It's awful. It's so horrific. You'll be making another check for violence, but it's instinctively like tries to reach towards you as it's suddenly like free from the door, but it quickly like bleeds out and just like dies on the floor.
So what's the normal roll for violence checks?
3d4 is the normal roll that you would get.
So that's a straight roll, right?
Well, it's contested against whatever I roll as the DC. I am
But
lower.
since you have the negative, you need to add whatever plus to the negative that it is.
Yeah, because of your Kabadoo, because you've marked Kabadoo penalty, the game thinks that you have a -1 to that for whatever reason, because that's the way the character sheets work. So you just so you just give it a +1 just to compensate for that.
Gotcha.
But here's the roll. We'll give it's one less dice than the previous check was, but 9, 6. So you'd go down one more mind step, which is not broken, right? Like you're just
Correct.
yeah.
I'm just shaking.
Okay. So you'll have a -1 to mind related rolls. I think that's right. Is that right, guys? Shaken give you a -1, or is there no penalty for mind track? I can't remember. Players, help me out.
Let me double check.
I think
Yeah,
it's
say I don't remember.
I feel like
you got too busy posting memes in the chaos.
I feel like Zach's gotten this right a bunch of times. I kind of wish Zach, do you know off the top of your head?
Let's see.
He usually knows how this stuff works, I feel like.
No, I'm trying to
Four
remember. It's been a
states
little
and a
bit.
mind trick. You get okay, stressed, shaken, and broken. Being okay, stressed is normal. No mechanical effect. Shaken confers a 1 die penalty to all action.
To all actions. Okay.
Yeah, because it's easier.
Sorry, Zach, you cut out. It's easier to what?
It's easier to get rid of it, so it's more punishing.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. So you got
Because that one just goes away after a scene.
That's true. Yeah. All right. So Naela, let me bring you over to the hallway you find yourself in. You grab your token. Boop. And paste. Alrighty. So you find yourself in a hallway. It looks a lot like this. There's bones and stuff everywhere. It's all rusted and destroyed. There's no lights. It's just like a sparking coming from the ceiling every once in a while that kind of gives you like a little bit of light to see with. But yeah, it probably looks something like that. Yeah, so you bring the door down on this thing, kills it. You can hear the other one beating on the other side of the door once it's closed and screaming. Like you can kind of hear like a muffled screaming through this door. Yeah, like I think maybe like when you brought the door down, you get this, like the blood splatters on you, you know, like there's a lot of blood when you kill this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm looking around this new area to see if I can pinpoint if this is like because I know it's kind of like a room. It was leading into a corridor. So just kind of walking through this area, looking around at my surroundings to see if there's any particular which way, because her main goal is to get out. She doesn't know where she is or what's going on.
Yeah. So you didn't go in the direction of the one that we heard calling in the distance. So that's good. You don't hear any immediate noise coming from the other end of this corridor, but that's really the only direction to go. So that's
Gotcha.
that's the way you go for a while. Now, you probably end up. Are you going slowly, like trying to be careful and quiet here?
Yeah, I would say so.
All right, make a stealth check. You'll have the penalty from Kabadoo as well as the penalty from being shaken.
So -2.
Yeah. Do you have any skills that help you with stealth?
Nope.
Okay.
Actually, I'd like to make a memory. Can I do that?
Well,
If not, that's fine.
I think you can. It just has to be a negative memory, right? Because you're a Dreadlander. So yeah, you can make a memory, and it'll give you success on the roll, but you'll get a minus to the skill. That's how it works, right, Zach? He's played a Dreadlander, so I'm asking him. I think that's how it works. Let me make sure. We can check the book if you want.
I feel like it. It's been a little bit since we've played him.
Dreadlanders can only get positive memories from roll of 3s.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, but you can still get a success on the roll, right? It just has to be a negative memory.
Yeah.
Yes, if you make a memory, it is negative, but you still do get the success.
Yeah, okay.
I'll take a -1.
So you always want to just make +1 because technically it's a -1.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know what the memory is? I'll give you a hint. It's not Naela's memory.
Wow.
Would be from Ernest's perspective. You're Ernest right now. I don't know if you know that.
Yes, I am aware of that.
Okay. All right.
I kind of realized that once you said masculine features.
Yeah.
Naela may have been many things, but she was not a man.
Fair enough.
Alright, it's not in the perspective of Naela. So
We get our trademark lens flare.
what would you say Ernest was before Nibiru? Was he in fact a doctor?
I mean, he could have been. Sure. I suppose some of that is up to you in this moment, depending on like what you want this memory to be. He could have been a doctor if you want him to have been a doctor.
Well, I was just curious because you put him as a
doctor in the sim. Yeah, it is curious, yeah.
Okay.
I was actually leaning towards the possibility that he could have been a doctor at some point, yeah. That was
Okay. Then this is just me going with the flow here. You can tell me if you like it or not.
Yeah, go for it.
But I remember sitting across the room from my patient, who is screaming and howling with fear as gunshots were rummaging through the clinic. And we heard footsteps from outside the door. The screaming continued. and the intruder opened the door, pointed the gun, and then it was black.
Okay.
Does that sound feasible?
Yeah, I like it. I think it's good. All right. So you add a memory to your. You can add this to your journal page. You have this memory that belongs to Ernest. Naela will have this when you wake up. Okay. You succeed on the stealth roll. You have a -1 skill added to your journal. Okay, so we see you like being quiet, kind of being careful, not making sure not to step on anything that's gonna make any noises as you're making your way through this corridor. You're also like using cover, like there's parts of the corridor that kind of stick out, and you're able to like hide behind them and look ahead a bit, kind of thing. And this goes on for a while. 100 yards, few hundred yards. It's hard to say after a little bit. You do see a doorway on one side of the corridor that would lead into presumably a room. The corridor also keeps going. As you like look around the corner, you see a bunch of these things, just like the one you just killed at the door. But they're all standing, kind of like huddled together, and they all have their eyes closed, and none of them are making any noise. They're kind of like swaying back and forth slightly. Most of them have their hands tucked up close to their chest. And they're all covered with the same grime and gunk all over them. They're all naked. But yeah, they don't notice you. You move by that room unnoticed. And yeah, the corridor goes on for another few hundred yards or what have you. And you see another doorway off to one side. As you like peer around that corner, it's empty. It's an empty room. Probably an old living quarters or something. Like there might be an old like destroyed bed, some cupboards on a wall in there that are wrenched open. It's all still like in the state of ruin, and again, there's still like bones and stuff everywhere. But what you do see is a like a cracked mirror on a wall as you're like moving across this doorway. Like maybe you look into the room, you see it's empty, you go to keep moving. And the mirror's like got a bunch of gunk on it in places, but you can see clearly just enough to like catch a glimpse of your own reflection as you move by. And yeah, and we see your face. We get like a clear shot of your face for the first time. And yeah, it's Ernest's face. And that's where the memory ends.
Ooh.
And you wake up in a bed in a hotel room with a few people standing around you. There's Verona, who has a large knot on her head that she's kind of nursing with some ice. Flint and Zephyr are nearby. As you open your eyes, Verona's holding like a hand near your head, but it's probably like a foot or so away from you, and she's looking off in one direction. And there's like an image or something in the air. And as you open your eyes, it flickers out and disappears. Zephyr is standing on one side of the bed, kind of with her arms crossed, just watching you. And Flint is sat in a chair in the corner of the room, resting his head, like his chin on his fist, and kind of like staring at the floor. Zephyr immediately goes, oh, she's awake. Well, good.
What'd I miss?
Well, not much, fortunately. It seems like you were stuck. We couldn't get you out. Are you Are you feeling okay? You remember everything from this, just by the way.
She's just gonna kind of be like, he he's been through some pretty disturbing stuff, and that was just one memory.
Yeah, she kind of solemnly sort of like nods her head. She says, I understand. Well, your friends, they went on a job. They're going after what looks to be an artifact here in the city.
Are they doing this on their own volition, or was this because it's beneficial for something?
Well, we didn't force them. They're
That's not what I meant. Are they doing this for themselves, or are they doing this to help you? Is what I meant.
well, I think they're doing this for themselves. Could give some valuable information, but it would be dishonest, I suppose, if I told you it didn't help us also. See, we think that Douglas was his name. She kind of looks over towards Verona. Verona just like rolls her eyes. She says, well, it seems they may be making a move on it also. And probably best that valuable information or a powerful tool or even weapon doesn't fall into their hands.
Then I should go.
Yeah, she nods and she says, well, I can see if I can pinpoint their location for you. And she like traces at some stuff in the air. Seems like she's typing on something that you don't see, maybe, or like swiping left and right on something that you can't see. Here's the question I have for the rest of the group. Weight Watcher scrambling for you right now?
I never told him to stop.
Yeah. So she's not going to be able to find your location. So she's like, huh, that's weird. I am having a hard time tracking their signal.
Would it make a difference that Waywatcher isn't actually with us? Because we sent both Waywatcher and Spot, I think, to the museum.
Oh, you did? Yeah, you're right. I thought one
Oh,
of them.
did we send them ahead? I thought they were still with us.
I know. I thought you
we
sent
them
one of
ahead.
them. I thought you sent one of them to scout. I wasn't sure if you sent both.
Oh, we just sent Spot.
Yeah, I think we just sent one of them.
Okay.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah, so she's like, huh, that's weird. I can't pinpoint their location.
I'm not surprised.
Just a reminder though, since it's been so long, Flint does have Dank's phone number.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. She goes, Verona, you do anything to help?
Oh god.
Verona like rolls her eyes and sort of like she sort of like rolls her neck. It's like to pop her neck. And Flint goes, "Hold on, I'll just call him."
Oh god, what was Verona gonna do?
He stands up almost like he was like he's waking up from a nap. He stands up from the chair and kind of like sighs, stretches a bit and reaches into his pocket to pull out a phone. And we hear like dialing sound. And then we hear it start to ring. Dank, you get a phone call. You get a phone call.
Right. I noticed my phone buzzing as it starts to ring. I pick it up and answer it. Hello.
Hey, your friend's back.
It's good news.
She seems good.
Better than bad.
Where are you?
We are at the warehouse.
You know what? Don't just text it to me.
Fair enough. I text him the location real quick.
All right. I've got it. We'll be sending her to you.
Cool. How's things going over there for you guys?
Well, Verona is certainly worse for wear. And seems there was an incident in one of the rooms we weren't aware of.
Oh.
But I suppose it could be worse.
Oh
Fair
my
enough.
god.
I wonder who did that.
Well, keep me
Oops.
posted. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. You've got my contact.
Yeah, he says likewise.
All right.
Hangs up the phone. We cut over to where you guys are. So as the phone call ends, we instead pick up with you guys at this warehouse, right where we left off last time.
Yep.
Good.
You somewhere we would notice you taking that call?
I'd still be standing in front of the workbench where I was the whole time.
So Amity probably overheard that call, but Derrin, Enigma, and not Cassidy, the other one. Crap,
Narcissa.
we're all the three of us are off having a conversation about Europa.
Okay, so wait, Enigma, Amagine, and Derrin are off having a conversation?
Yeah.
No,
Or
Jean's still with Dank.
Dank. The twins split.
Oh,
Because
okay.
Imogene wanted to make sure Dank was okay.
Sorry, I was just having a little bit of trouble. You're a robot in a little bit. I was having a little trouble hearing you. So it's just the twins that are off by themselves.
No. Narcissa, Derrin, and Enigma stepped away to have the Europa talk.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
And
the
Amogene
twins are
stayed with
split up.
Dank.
Oh, okay. I got you. All
They're
right.
just still within range that they can still do like the syncy sync thing.
Sorry, Gerblin. I was just having trouble hearing you.
No worries.
It's pretty bad.
Look at that! Gerblin doesn't need a voice mod to do the robots.
I got
I'm
new.
gonna cry.
I got new
We
internet.
love you.
I got new internet this week. I don't know why this reminded me, but we have a gig up and a gig down now. And I had it.
Hey,
I was using it for an hour, and it crashed. But it's been fine since. Like I got it back up like a couple hours later. It's been great since then. But that should help with like the stream quality and stuff. I don't know if you guys can notice, but
Definitely looks more crisp.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So it's just Amagine that hears this call. Got you guys. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I turn around, look at Amjin. Did you get all that?
Yeah, it's a good thing that Naela's good.
Yep. She's gonna be over this way shortly, and then we can really start getting going with this heist.
Sounds like a plan.
Alrighty then. Are they done talking over there?
Andy shrugs. There's a memory that the two of us just got, but I don't know how their conversation's going.
Uh, all right then.
Do you know how their conversation is going, Amagine?
Yeah, wouldn't you?
Maybe. I forget that there's that like split reality bullshit that they both have to deal with.
I guess a lot of it would be how much Amagine is actively paying attention to that side of the conversation.
That's fair. I suppose if you wanted to, you could make a roll. And if you succeed on the roll, you're completely aware of everything that's happening in the other conversation, whether you can hear it or not. It's up to you. You don't have to.
I think given the kind of reasoning they split, I don't know that they would be paying much attention. I
Fair
think
enough.
they would have been more focused on making sure Dank was okay.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, no, totally fine, totally fine. Just random, horrible, debilitating nosebleed.
We see like a dirty, partially deflated like soccer ball or basketball roll into the room. And then like really slowly and ominously just like roll into the
Gonna
room.
need you to cut back on the maniacal laughter.
Maybe we hear Cassidy laugh. And then like a robot kind of awkwardly walks into the room and like it's this guy, right? He kind of awkwardly like walks into the room and leans down and picks up the ball, and there's like a lot of like metal on concrete floor sounds and like gears, the sound of like gears moving and stuff. Picks up the ball and kind of like looks around the room for a second and then walks back out of the room in the direction the ball came from.
Okay then. Yes, they're playing soccer.
Weird. Just weird. What is soccer?
Oh yeah. It's a game where you kick a ball and you've got a field and there's goals on each side and there's teams of players. And the goal is to kick the ball into the opposing team's goal.
Well, you have to explain field too.
Yeah. It's like a big space with distances marked off. And each team has a side.
I was more thinking since there's grass.
Well, I mean, they've got fields. It's just like probably more seen as agricultural fields, not like soccer fields.
Okay, well, I guess the rules seem pretty simple.
Yep.
So, what exactly are you doing? Kind of vaguely gestures to whatever you're working on.
I am preparing for shit to go ploin shit. Because the best of plans always fall apart. And if that enemy Dreamlander, Douglas, is there, oh my god, that bastard touched my gun. He's gonna get what's coming to him. I hold up a just outrageously evil looking 9mm bullet.
Yeah, because you put a memory in it, right?
2.
Okay, oh, that's right. Yeah.
So much for being a better person.
It's not gonna kill him. It's just gonna really, really fuck him up.
Yeah.
That's
wait.
not being
You
a
know,
better
like most
person,
bullets.
you ass.
I
It
want to
is
say
being
such
a better
snarky
person.
remarks as Narcissa, but she doesn't know this conversation's going on.
Look, most
Narcissa
people
would
wouldn't think
smack
they'd
him in
be
the
able
back
to
of the
kill a
forehead.
Dreamlander in the dream anyway.
Well, even if he gets shot, right, and he survives, theoretically, he could just, like, make it so he was never shot. Right? Like...
So what you're saying is I have to kill him.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Or you could get your friendly Dreamlander to just make sure causality sticks.
This is also true. But, like,
We do have
Dude.
2 Dreamlanders on our side now.
Dude, the other one got brained with a stapler and isn't going to be doing anything anytime soon.
I'll have you know I'm pretty good.
You
It's
fucked
not
her
my fault she
shit
can't
up.
dodge worth shit.
You can dodge a stapler, you can dodge a ball.
I guess she can't dodge a ball.
No, she can't.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
Verona's gonna kill all of us.
No, she's just gonna kill you. And then she's gonna kill me for trying to kill her. And then, yeah.
to
Okay,
be
they
fair,
have to
you
think
just
about
threw a
this, though.
stapler. I don't think you intended for her to die. Otherwise,
Back
you
in
would
the
have put a lot
Americas, I
more
played
than
the
just
5th.
throw a stapler.
But let's put it this way. If she kills me, who's gonna keep my animatronics in line?
Me.
Exactly.
Yeah, you try to keep Freddy and Bonnie in line without me.
The
Yeah,
other
you have fun
you.
with that.
All right, so heist. We should get everyone together so we can just get this heist planned and put into motion.
I thought we already had everyone together.
Narcissa, Derrin, and Enigma were having a secondary conversation still about Euro because we ended the session with Narcissa asking Derrin a very specific question.
I have forgotten it by now.
Do you remember what the question was, Maury?
Yes.
What was it?
It was if he knew how to make facades drop.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
And I think I just asked, what's a facade?
Yeah.
And then we ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. We can pick up that conversation right there if you guys want. Here's a question for me. Has Cassidy rejoined Dank and Amagine?
Has she worn out the animatronics?
I mean, do they get worn out? Like, do they get tired?
She did also tell them to call her when it was time to go, so
It's up to you.
so probably not.
Okay. All right.
Unless they just want to yell for her.
It's up to you guys. We can pick up with that conversation with Narcissa and Derrin and Enigma. I feel like so. Darren's like, we cut over to them, and Darren's like, "What's a facade?"
As nice as it would be, do you really think if I've known Dank for 80 plus cycles, I would look like this? She like holds out her arms to like feel, you know.
I just figured it was some weird Dreamlander.
Not exactly Dreamlander, but when you get used to fiddling around with simulations, there's perks. One is you can change your appearance to an extent.
Where you turn into like a desiccated corpse to scare us.
No.
Good, because I don't think I can take any more horror movie stuff.
I mean, one arm's missing, but I've gotten it replaced.
I mean, that's fairly normal.
But I mean, that's just the nature of my habitat.
Yeah.
But if you're not sure how, that's fine. I can do it later.
I don't even know what it is.
Mm,
Well, I mean, kind of. I get what you're saying, but it's like, I don't know. How would I, yeah. Like, I could try on you, but I think that would be rather rude.
I mean, I don't mind either way. Whole reason I asked if you could.
Yeah, I mean, worth a shot. So yeah,
You're gonna try to do the thing?
I do, yes.
All right. What's it look like when you do this? Like,
I think that I look generally a little bit puzzled just because I'm like, how to imagine this?
yeah.
Out of character, honestly, first thing that comes to mind is when future Derrin melted into a puddle.
Maybe I do have that memory. It is one of my like resistance to unknowns. Yeah, I guess I could be like.
Did we lose you? You could be like what?
Sorry, I don't know what's going on. Imagining what she like currently looks like melting into a puddle, leaving what she should look like.
Yeah, that makes sense. Can you make a roll?
Oh, sorry, my page bugged. Let me reload it.
Yeah, no problem. Have we given you a roll for this yet? I think we have, right?
Yeah, I've had a dream thing roll.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Naela. You recover 1 mind step. You also recover from your Cabadoo stuff. You can put that back as stable. Sorry, I mean to.
I assume dream shape.
Yeah.
Woo.
Okay.
A singular success.
So yes.
Hey, better than no success.
You're able to do this. So yeah, we see like her current visage.
I imagine like what she looks like almost seems to like run as if it's like paint that was like mixed with thinner.
Perfect.
Oh, that's gotta feel weird.
That's exactly what I was imagining. Okay, cool. Yeah. So runs off, and we see what she looks like, what she really looks like. And it looks something like this.
Cool.
And Maury, I suppose if you want to give a description to give us a better idea, please do.
Unfortunately, the thing said it wouldn't do it quite well, but like the face and neck are like very scarred. Underneath the bandages, you can see what looks to almost be like bruising of fingerprints. There are like scars along the collarbone. The right arm has been replaced with a robotic arm. What little bit of the left hand that you can see from the lab coat is all scarred up as well. What probably would have been a fairly pretty woman is pretty much completely coated in scar tissue.
Yeah.
Good old Silas.
Oh, well, I guess that worked.
It seems so. Usually don't take this way in a simulation. I do like to have a little bit of vision back when I'm in one.
Oh crap, does that get rid of it?
Yep.
I'd like try and redo it, or do you do you
it's
have a way to
fine.
redo it?
It's fine. I have been like this for a long time.
Still, I mean, it must be annoying at the very least.
I lost them for a good reason. Well, I lost the arm for a good reason. I lost the eyes running.
I mean, I understand, but I mean, if I'd lost my fingers even for a good... Of course, I'd learn some other way, but that'd take a while.
Hasn't stopped me. I have a small place outside of Nataku. Where I've found workarounds.
Oh, glad for that at least.
It makes life down below very interesting with no sight.
Have your other senses compensated for it?
Mainly hearing. Most creatures, despite attempting to be silent, do give off some noise. People, despite their best efforts, can't help but be noisy. She gives like a polite smile at that.
Don't I know that? I was never really the stealthy one, though, so...
It's fine. But it seems Dank is determined to bring me out of retirement.
On that note, Dank's gonna walk into the room where everybody's conversing.
Narcissa would like turn slightly hearing the footsteps.
You'd hear the wheelies.
I see you found them again.
Yeah. definitely a very versatile and useful thing to have on hand.
That is still up for debate.
How many times have these things saved my ass?
Your metal shoes, they can't be comfortable.
They are the most
I've lost count
comfortable.
of how many shins he's destroyed with them.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, fair point.
Plus, I mean, these wheels are all terrain.
Yeah, that's true. Have you found the couch yet?
Not yet.
Still wonder how they got it out of that apartment.
You remember where it was?
I last remember seeing it in Otaku. Or Nineveh.
Good to know.
I didn't see much after Nineveh.
Yeah, that's fair.
Glances pointedly at your eyes.
Look at me. I don't have eyeballs.
Wait, how the hell is Naela gonna get here? She doesn't know how to drive.
I think you're underestimating how much she would run.
It's about that time you hear a faint popping sound from outside.
Oh, or that.
You brought another Dreamlander around?
What? No.
No, it's directed towards Dank.
Not technically. She's somewhere else. Also, I'm surprised that she managed to do that given the state that she's in.
What do you mean the state that she's in?
Naela.
Do I want to know?
You should ask Cassidy about that.
Naela, you find yourself standing outside this creepy looking warehouse.
I'm gonna walk in.
Yeah.
No hesitation. Just
No. I'm not stupid. I know Dank's in here.
Yeah, you probably see Dank first, I guess. And I guess has everybody else except Cassidy regrouped inside? Is that what's going on? You guys are all talking?
Yeah.
I think is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So who's this new set of footsteps?
Who are you?
Why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Narcissa.
Naela.
Ah, you are the Ernest dog.
Didn't they see each other at the hospital?
I was in the other form.
Oh, right.
You're a dog?
She earnestly refuses to believe that he's Silas.
That's funny. I like your play on words there.
Thank you.
I don't like you. I don't trust you.
We'll see here, dearie. I don't need your trust. I have his. And like she points in Dank's direction.
And you should know that means a lot. I don't trust fucking anything.
I'm
Why
hurt.
why do you trust this one?
cycles of experience.
She used to work with you?
A long time ago, yes.
Very well.
I didn't get my monikers for nothing. And it seems Dank wants to pull me out of retirement.
Well, in the situations that we end up in, it's always nice to have more people.
Where has any of you seen Ernest?
Not since he
Sounds like a
left
no.
the hospital.
That's a no.
He's still on safari or whatever, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say not since he left with whatever that guy's name was.
He's out on
Kanan.
his vision quest in the wilds of Ohio.
Harassing poor hikers.
Being mistaken for Bigfoot.
He's not hairy enough to be Bigfoot. He'd be mistaken for a chupacabra.
No, he's Bigfoot's cousin, Baldfoot.
Whatever happened to Verona's forehead? I'm assuming it has something to do with one of you. She looks around at everyone besides Narcissa.
Oh wow, I'm not the immediate suspect of an act of violence. Thank you. That means a lot to me.
Dank, is this what,
You
is this
know,
part
I
of what
can.
you were
I
telling
don't
me
throw
to
things
ask
very well at
Cassidy
all.
about?
What?
Is this part of what you were telling me to ask Cassidy about?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Should we call her then?
That would be a good idea.
Things will
like-
come back.
What things?
Oh, you know, the thing.
Narcissa just like turns and yells out for Cassidy.
You'll see.
He's startled by them standing right behind you. And shoots a look at Derrin.
I mean, one of them thought I was her, so probably won't now, but
Yeah. So does Cassidy and the two things come walking back? Okay, sure. Yeah. So they come into the room, and immediately, as soon as they see you all, this one kind of faces towards Naela and Naela and Narcissa and goes,
yes.
No.
That was weird. Sorry. Yeah, it makes a music box sound. I shouldn't have done that. I don't know why I did that.
It adds to the creepy.
Mother, it seems there's nuance here now. Are they friends? Do you think they want to play?
It kind of like raises its arms towards the two of you.
Where did the other one go? The one who looks like you, Mother. Is she sleeping?
I'm sorry, it really got really bad there at the end.
Oh, you couldn't hear?
I couldn't understand.
It said, where did the other one go? The one that looked like you, Mother. Is she sleeping?
Cassidy is going to look around and go, I'm not sure. pretty Narcissa good?
No, this is her. Gestures towards Narcissa.
It looks at her arm and says,
Is this true? This one looks more like a solder. Isn't that strange?
Cassie's like, no, some people do get limbs traded when things happen. And Narcissa like waves in their direction like a hi.
Good.
it says,
If Mother says if you fix the rest of it, it won't hurt anymore.
Narcissa just kind of smiles and goes, it doesn't hurt at all.
Guess people could have like avatars here. I'm just gonna call them avatars. Facades. I mean, it makes sense, but avatars make sense more.
But everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
Not that kind.
Oh, shit.
Both the twins
Narcissa
just
just-
looking confused.
Narcissa just kind of shrugs and is like, different people call them different things. And then Cassidy like swings her arms a little bit like, you called? Are we ready to go?
Yeah. The gang's all here.
Cool beans.
Yeah, and I have a plan.
You didn't earlier?
All right, everyone. It's time to steal a dream painting. And I walk out.
But I don't know it. Oh my!
We're taking the babies, right? And she like points at the animatronics.
No,
Why not?
it's not a heist if we bring two big ass animatronics. They
We
will
can-
be safer here.
We can
want them
help.
safe.
It will be fun. Don't you think?
See, they can help.
Can they take out the security cameras?
That was what was bought in Narrator for.
I don't know who's doing what, dear. I just woke up. I just got here. Verona has a big ass bump on her forehead. What did you do?
Oh, you're still there? Good.
I'm so confused.
I beamed her with a stapler
Why?
because she was being an ass. And then she like immediately turns to the animatronics and do not use that word.
Ass.
Don't you start.
S,
You know how
S,
hard it is.
S, 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 S.
I didn't do it, you did. Okay, but she's
As
gonna go
far as your-
outside.
As far as your children go, I feel like they might be a bit conspicuous.
I mean, this is Ohio.
They can go, but only if I get to make them up a little.
Cassidy like gives him side eye. What do you mean?
You
Well,
know
I just learned about avatars, so I was just going to give them some.
Can you make them sound normal too?
Into
That I have no
what?
idea about. Quick, let's make more work for the DM.
wait,
What
what's
are
the
you
plan
planning
here?
on changing them into?
Oh, okay.
Glam rock.
Yeah.
Glam? Did you say glam rock?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. They're gonna be
She's
people.
gonna Google.
Like
No,
an
Glam
hair
Rock,
band?
Freddie and Bonnie.
Freddie and Bonnie.
They're actual like versions of them.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry, I'm not familiar.
Nope, you're fine.
It's Fred.
They're some of the newest iterations. That's why.
Okay.
That's the one with like the light.
That's why I was like, oh, quick, we'll
Yeah.
make more work for him.
Okay. Okay, and it's their glam rock version. Okay, I'll see what I can do. I'm giving it a shot.
Cassidy like side eyes Darren and is like, they better be able to return back to normal. Do you know how hard I worked on these?
Oh, sure. Afterwards, I think they'll just melt. I mean, the avatar will melt.
Like her eyes when you said that was like, what, like as big as saucers. Like, you're going to melt my animatronic.
Yeah, the robots just let out a as they look at each other. Oh, okay, I see. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not. The thing is, I'm not sure what it's supposed to look like, so I'm just gonna go with the ones that look the most glam rock, I guess.
Do you want me to find you pictures real quick?
I mean, they look pretty glam rock. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like one of them's.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if something.
Are they? They're not supposed to be broken. Is that the impression I get? Like Bonnie's,
Yeah, they're pretty not broken.
Bonnie's wearing a wig, and Freddy Fazbear.
I mean, in some versions, yeah. Bonnie technically doesn't have, or no, I guess he does technically have.
We actually do get
design.
to see official Glamrock Bonnie in Ruin.
Yeah, I did remember that now.
and is playing a guitar.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
And Freddy
Instrument.
Fazbear has one where he's playing guitar, but I think the better one is just where it's like him wearing like a top hat kind of thing, and he's all shiny and purple.
Purple?
Purple?
Yeah, there's a red one too, where he's kind of red. But it's like the lighting. It kind of seems like the lighting reflecting.
Okay, it might be
okay.
lighting then.
Here.
Because
I'll
yeah,
show-
he's still mostly brownish to tan.
Oh, okay. What about one where he's like brownish, but he's missing an eye, and he's kind of dressed like a hobo playing a guitar.
No.
What?
Okay. Well, I got one it's still kind of creepy, but it's brown. He's playing a guitar. He's got the top hat on, and he's not like super heavily damaged or anything, but it's just still kind of creepy looking. But here, I'll show you which ones I've got here. Let me do this. Let me paste it in the chaos, I guess. Guys, this is why you should be in the chaos. I'm just saying, it's free. Get on that Discord link in the description below. Also, there's tons of memes tonight in there. Here's our choices for Freddy.
Quick example.
Ooh.
Okay, that purple one is pretty dope, though.
Yeah.
I like
That's, what, I was
purple.
like, that's what
Yeah.
I was thinking. Yeah. Purple one's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, I think he's closest.
Okay.
Yeah. Either the purple or the one right underneath is the two I would go for.
Okay. And then here, I might as well show you the ones we got for Bonnie also. Let me copy, boom. And I got a DM I need to check. Give me 1 second.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, okay. You sent me a picture. Gotcha.
Um, I think the fourth one would probably be the closest.
I was thinking the first or the fourth, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
The only reason I wouldn't do the first is because of it just looks very cheapified.
Kind of. But I mean, that is kind of the glam rock aesthetic.
Well, I'm glad I showed you because
Not as much as the toys, but
I was gonna go
Yeah.
with the second one. So I'm glad I showed you that. And on the first one, you guys liked the second.
I mean, Bonnie is technically a dude, so
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only female is Chica.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know the characters really.
No, you're fine. Well, and
uh,
Roxy, but Roxy is new.
So you guys like the second or the fourth one? You want to do the fourth one on the Freddy one?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right. I got him. We
Still
good.
a tiny bit creepy, but
Yeah.
My only thing about the Bonnie, which of course, it's AI, so you can't get them perfect, is the ears are kind of wolfy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's fine.
Because he is a bun.
I know Freddy, and that's about it. I don't know anything about his character or anything. I just know what he looks like, kind of.
I mean, he doesn't really have a whole lot of character until...
He's just really good at fucking hiding.
I don't know much about the lore for Five Nights at Freddy's, but
Good, because it's inconsistent and insane.
but I know like Wendigoon made a video about it, and I watched it, but I don't remember much of the details. Okay.
I will say, I believe, yeah, Naela was saying that they have to go.
Yeah, I think it's time.
Yeah.
We're past time, actually. All right. Well, we can cut
the
it.
bots appear into their thing, or maybe we see that next time. And
I can do it now. Like I've got them in Roll20 now. I just need to drag them onto the screen.
We just see like the glam rock versions like drip down onto them.
But hey, now we're all together.
Woo!
yeah, either drip down onto them or like paint.
Go up.
Yeah, maybe paint goes up onto them, something like that. Either
that's
way.
a cool idea.
So here
And
you
Naela didn't get a symptom yet.
go. Correct.
Somehow.
Yeah. Got close.
Oh, that's cool. The up close part of Freddy's eyes. That's neat.
Oh yeah.
Those look like roses. Alrighty, my eyeballs are starting to burn.
Well, thank you guys for playing. You guys all did awesome today. Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate you guys. So make sure you guys all get your memory point and your influence point for surviving the session, and any additional points you would get for following your beacon. For you guys watching, you can jump on the Discord. It is free. You just go to this link here. If you're watching on YouTube, it's in the description below. And you can see.
Who knows? Apparently, you might get to see art sooner.
Yeah. And you can see all the random memes and stuff, and ask questions about lore and whatever you want to do, you can do. And if you head over to buymeacoffee.com/brokendank, you can fuel this guy up with NOS and rocket fuel to make all the phone calls to Flint and do all the work, and do all the war crimes. The war crimes, of course.
The war crimes.
You can also head over to twitter.com/sketchingspace, where there is a new piece of art up featuring the last episode of Broken. I shared it on Twitter. Go over there, give a follow, say hey, and check it out. Maybe you'll show it next week or something. I don't know. You'll have to go give a follow, actually. I think if you just want to see it, you should do that. You can also go over to Instagram, TikTok, and coffee.com/AceOfWandsDesigns and check out Joanne's art for stuff like Cassidy, for example. And you can see Joanne on Mondays when we do Forest of Flesh. We'll be back Monday with some more Forest of Flesh, and we'll see you next week with some more Broken on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Central. Anybody else got anything? We ready to say goodnight, guys? Good night,
And remember.
I think so. Yeah.
And
remember, don't go towards the screams.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. Everyone have a great night and a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye, folks.
Bye.
Goodbye.